Hello, students. Welcome to week 8. And week 8 is we get to the circle of fifths and key signatures. Including that, we'll do a little bit of some new intervals, the thirds, and some solfeggio. We'll discuss that. Included this week will also be quiz number 3, which is pretty much all on meter signature, which we've been working on for a couple of weeks. But for this particular video, I want to focus on what is called the circle of fifths. And the circle of fifths is probably the most important tool you could use as a musician and music student. It leads to understanding of everything. Scales, keys, chords, everything is interconnected with each other, and you can't move forward as a musician until you really understand what the circle of fifths and key signatures are all about. So let's start here with the circle of fifths chart. Basically, what we have in music is we have different colors, different key centers. So for instance, we could say something, a piece of music is in the key of C, or it's in the key of F, piece of music is in the key of B flat, piece of music is in the key of F sharp, etc., etc. And there are 12 major keys. Now, all this stuff here is key signatures. We'll get to that in a little bit, but let's explain what the circle of fifths is, and I can do that with the piano. Circle of fifths organizes key centers. So if we say something is in the key of C, we're referring that its tonality is based around this C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. What I just played is a C major scale. And we say that in a C major scale, C is our tonal center. If you will, that's home base. That's number 1. So if we listen to something like where's home? Okay. So if I were to play a melody using these 8 notes, with number 1 being the most important tone, number 1 is home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 1 is home. So no matter what other tones are played in the melody, it's always going to return to home. When we get to chords, we'll find that in the key of C major, the number 1 main chord is C major. Okay, that's number 1 chord in C major chord. So if I have a tune like this, and this leads us to home. Okay, we say that is Jingle Bells in the key of C, because it's using the tones out of the key of C. And even though I don't start on the key of C, I'm starting number 3. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, and here we are at the end. 3, 2, 1. That's Jingle Bells in the key of C. Now, there are different keys. The reason there's different keys is because there are different colors. You don't just have one color in a crayon box. Okay, if you had a piece of music, or listen to music or play music only in the key of C, you're sure leaving out a lot of other color. Different key setters exist for many different reasons. It's just like an artist. Why would an artist only be painting with one color? You can have different colors, different shades of color, bright colors, muted colors, an unbelievable infinite variety of color, which you can also have in music. So if I change my keys, let's say I go here. I now change the key to D. Now we're focusing our melody on a D major scale. Okay, so if I play Jingle Bells in the key of D, now I got to start on number 3. 1, 2, 3, because that's the tone it starts on. So now here's Jingle Bells here. Okay. If I go to another key, let's say the key of A flat. Okay. Jingle Bells in the key of A flat is here. And here's Home. Okay. Let's go to one more key. Let's just say the key of F. Here's the F scale. This is also an F scale. And this is also an F scale. We start on 1. F now becomes the most important note in the key of F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc. And in the key of F, here's Jingle Bells. Okay, so different keys, especially to vocalists, can be very important. Let's just say a vocalist, maybe in this key. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. That key might be too high for a male. Be perfect key for a female, but maybe a male needs to not sing it in the key of C, but maybe a male has to sing it in the key of F. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one horse open sleigh. There, that's more comfortable. That is a more comfortable key. So, the reason we call it the circle of fifths, and basically the circle of fifths, it takes all the major keys. These are all the ones that exist, and it organizes them into a mathematical pattern. The mathematical pattern is by 5. Well, why does it organize them by 5? It organizes them by 5 because it's based on sound waves. When you hear a sound wave, you hear the initial wave and then the overtone. The strongest immediate overtone above that sound wave is a fifth. So acoustically, when you hear this note C, contained in that sound wave are many overtones, but the strongest overtone is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this interval, the fifth, where are you? That's a super strong sound wave link. Now, you can see the way the circle is. Since a fifth above C, C, D, E, F, G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, G. Our circle goes to key of G. Now look at this. This is a key signature. This is telling us that if we're going to have a piece of music in the key of G, it's going to have 1 sharp. Now, where is that sharp placed? That sharp is placed on the F line. So in the key of G, we need an F sharp. Now, if I look over here, that means a G scale. B, C, hello? D, E, F sharp. There's the G scale. So the G scale is 1 sharp, F sharp. Students say, why F sharp? Why can't it be the C sharp? Why is it F sharp? It needs to be F sharp because if I go from here to here, That gives me whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And it's only with that arrangement of whole steps and half steps that you're going to get the sound of a major scale. So we would say in the key of G, G's number 1, B's the 3rd, D's the 5th. Let's say this F sharp is the 7th, and G, of course, is number 1. 1 and 8 are the same letter. Okay, now let's go back. What's the 5th note of a G scale? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. G, D. When you hear a G sound wave, the next strongest sound wave coming out of that is D. So that's why we go to a D. And a D scale has 2 sharps. The key of D has 2 sharps. Right now, ignore this, the inner circle. That's minor keys. We'll worry about that later. Right now, we're doing this. D major has 2 sharps, an F sharp and C sharp. So if you are in the key of D, we got to go from D to D, but make sure you do F sharp and C sharp along the way. And that's D major. There's a D major chord. Duh. All those advertisements. Okay. Etc., etc. You do the same thing going all the way around the circle. Now notice how the circle works. 1 sharp, 2 sharps, 3 sharps, 4 sharps, 5 sharps, 6 sharps. Okay. Now, it's a circle of fifths. Everything is added by fifths. Our first sharp is F sharp. When you add a second sharp, go up 5 from that F. F sharp, C sharp. That was 5. What's the next sharp? Go up 5 from this C. C, D, E, F, G. G sharp. So the key of A has 3 sharps. It's the F sharp, the C sharp, and then we add a G sharp. All the sharps get added by 5s. So if we say the key of E has 4 sharps, the key of E. Here's the key of E. Oops. To make that scale come out correctly, I had to make sure I played an F sharp, a C sharp, a G sharp, and a D sharp. So let's say you say to yourself, okay, an E scale has 4 sharps. The key of E has 4 sharps. Then the question is, well, what are those 4 sharps? They get added. Starting with the F sharp, everything goes up by 5. F sharp, go up 5 to C sharp. Go up 5 to G sharp. Go up 5 to D sharp. Now we move on to another key. The key of B has 5 sharps. We've added an A sharp. And you go up 5. The 5th note of the B scale, here's a B scale. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's number 1. Here's 5. B, C sharp, D sharp. Notice I didn't say E flat. I said D sharp because it's diatonic. B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, and I said F sharp, not G flat. B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp. So the 5th note of B is F sharp, which is why that says F sharp. Now we could keep on going around the circle, and we do here. See, C sharp, 7 sharps. You could keep on going 8 sharps, 9 sharps, 10 sharps, 11 sharps, 12 sharps. If you want to get really crazy, you could go 13 sharps, 14 sharps, 15 sharps. You could go in a spiral if you wanted to. But here's the deal. Pretty much after 7 sharps, it becomes increasingly more difficult as you add sharp, 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 in terms of reading. Let's just say the music becomes almost illegible with all those sharps. So instead of keeping on going, adding sharps, we go this way on the circle, and we add flats. Well, how does this work out? If the circle is going up by fives, what if you went, this is a clock, the clock is going up. What if we went backwards in the clock? Well, if you go backwards in the clock, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here's home. Let's go backwards 5. We're on F. That's why if you go backwards from C, 5, you get to F, and F scale would be here. And an F scale has one flat, B flat. The key of F has one flat. Why is that one flat B flat? Because that's where that one flat needs to be to make the scale come out whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. If you keep on going the way I said, backwards fives, you're going to end up with this order. Next key is B flat. Key of B flat has 2 flats. Those flats are B flat and E flat. Continue on. Key of E flat has 3 flats. B flat, E flat, A flat. Continue on. Key of A flat has 4 flats, etc., etc. Now, one of the reasons you'll rarely see something written in the key of C sharp, the key of C sharp has 7 sharps. Trying to read that becomes very difficult. But since C sharp is enharmonic with D flat, right? Remember, enharmonic? Here's C sharp. That's also D flat. It's a lot easier to work with 5 flats than 7 sharps. Okay? Same thing here. If we wanted, you could call this guy C flat with 7 flats. I believe it is in the reading, the circle of fifths. So this leads us to the idea of key signatures. Oh, I wanted to explain this really quick. See how everything on this side is fives? Because the clock's going forward 5. C to G is 5, G to D is 5, D to A is 5, A to E is 5, etc., etc. The sharps are added by 5s. That's an F sharp. Next sharp, go up 5. F sharp, C sharp, go up 5. C sharp, G sharp, go up 5. G sharp, D sharp, etc., etc. When you move the clock backwards, yeah, you're going back 5, but it's too difficult to count backwards. So instead of going backwards 5, this side of the clock, just count up 4. C, D, E, F. F, G, A, B flat. Why B flat? Because in an F scale, the 4th note's B flat. And this side goes up by 4. This side, the flats are added by 4s. This is a B flat. What's the second flat? Go up 4. B flat, E flat. B, C, D, E. This one has 3 flats. What's the new one? B flat, E flat, go up 4. A flat. What's the next one? B flat, E flat, A flat. 4 from A flat is D flat. So the circle is very mathematically organized. And this brings us to our key signatures and the scales. And when you look at a piece of music, the first thing when you're sight reading or looking at a music is to look at that key signature. So in a piece of music, at the beginning you'll have something that looks like this, and it tells you what key the music is in. Now this is so important. A music student that does not know what key they're playing in, that's really sad. This is one of the most fundamental things you can recognize. Now this doesn't just have to be at the beginning. You could have a piece of music that maybe starts in the key of C, and let's say a key changes to the key of D. You would see the key change in the music. And the awareness of, hey, I'm in the key of C, and now the music has changed, I'm in the key of D. These key signatures exist for the reason that if you place them here, you don't have to keep on putting, let's say you're in the key of E flat, you don't have to keep on putting B flat, E flat, A flat every time a B, E, or A pops up in the music. The musician or music student knows that, hey, I'm in the key of E flat. I always got to play those flat when I see them, unless you have a natural. So the idea of the key signatures and the circle of fifths and the scales, the major scales, are extremely fundamental to uh, a musician's life and the music student's life. In fact, they're so important that if somebody is really studying music, not just playing an instrument, but actually studying it, a good teacher will have that student learn all their scales. So, for instance, every time, well, when I took lessons, part of my daily practice routine was practice my scales. When I have had private students, I make sure they practice their scales. Above anything else, you gotta learn your scales. When I taught myself guitar, I said, okay, I gotta get around the guitar. I'm gonna learn my scales. So if we are in the key of, let's pick A flat, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat. This looks like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, but this tells me I gotta remember to play those flat, and now I'll be in the key of A flat. The biggest mistake I've seen with students is they don't know their scales. They don't know their key signatures. So let's say somebody's bopping along playing a piece of music, and they see this and they play a D. It'll be wrong. They're like, what am I doing wrong? Because it's not D. You have to remember it's D flat. All right. So this stuff is the most important, really one of the most important things you can learn in music. This major scale key signature stuff. Okay. So some of the homework I have for you in relation to this, I got it on Tone Savvy. Something new this week is to identify key signatures. I'll give it to you in treble and bass. It doesn't matter if it's treble or bass. Okay, I'll take out anything wonky. I think this is yeah, that'll be fine. All right, so only major keys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What major key has 6 sharps? Now, technically, the well-trained musician instantly recognizes what 6 sharps are. Since you guys are just learning this, you can always go to your chart, find where the 6 sharps are. Where are 6 sharps? Where are they? Oh, you know what? This was marked wrong here. That's not G major. This is F. This is an F sharp scale. It starts on F sharp. It ends F sharp, and an F sharp scale has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, has 6 sharps. You can also go to this module. I would do this. This might be easier. 6 sharps. Bam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sharps is the key of F sharp. You would not say 6 sharps is the key of G flat. That would be flats. 6 sharps is the key of F sharp. So you go back to your key signature. You say, I can identify these. And then if somebody asked you, all right, key of F sharp has 6 sharps. What 6 sharps are there? F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp. They're all 5 apart because it's the circle of fifths. So this is the key of F sharp. Now you could do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could just say, okay, I'm just going to look at my chart. 5. Where's 5? Right there. It's the key of B. You could do that, but really try and understand what you're looking at. We are in the key of B, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp. Here's a little hint. The last sharp leads into the key. A sharp leads you into B. And it's not B flat, not B sharp. It's just plain old natural B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 flats. Here's the thing though. This chart doesn't have 7 flats. It stops here at 6 flats. Well, 1 flat, 2 flat, 3 flat, 4 flat, 5 flats, 6 flat, 7 flats will be here. And what do you think it would be? It wouldn't be C sharp, which is D flat. It would be C flat, which is B. How do I know it's C flat? Because this side of the circle moves by 4. C, go up 4. F, go up 4. B flat, go up 4. E flat, go up 4. A flat, go up 4. D flat, go up 4. G flat, go up 4 from G flat. G flat, A flat, B flat, C flat. C flat. C flat has 7 flats. One more. Actually, I'll do one more in the bass clef. And like I said, there's one thing between doing this on Tone Savvy. This is where you learn them. It's a totally different thing when somebody puts a piece of music in front of you. You look at the key signature and you say, what key are you playing in? Or nobody asked you, you have to play in that key. If you don't know what key you're in, you're behind the 8 ball. It's not going to happen. You'll be messing up so bad. 1 flat. Oh my God, but it's bass clef. It doesn't matter. 1 flat is always key of F. It doesn't matter if it's bass clef or treble clef. 1 flat is always F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sharps is always the key of B. And those 5 sharps are always F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp. Plain old B. Now let's do one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, we already know this, so let's try to find something different. No flats, no sharps. Key is C. 2 sharps. Eventually, you should be able to do these without even looking at a chart. F sharp, C sharp. And the key of D. Plain old D. And that's how your key signatures work. Okay, the ability to recognize and understand what key, and ultimately not only understand the key that you're in, but to also understand the idea of being able to play a piece of music in different keys and not playing wrong notes all over the place. So that's a start into the circle of fifths. Obviously, introduction to the circle of fifths and key signatures. Make sure to watch the rest of the videos this week. All right, talk to you later.